Welcome to the Mental Health Motion News, where I am your host, Chabul, here with nobody really. Today in the news, we have a whole bunch of doozies. But before I get into that, I must mention that it's a whole bunch of BS out there. Absolutely ridiculous. Listen, I'm a very patient man. I work with special people. I can't do this anymore. I can't stand that these people have just been able to get away with this for so long and nobody's waking up. Last night I went full Anon. Hello, comrade. Last night I went full Anon. And these people, they were just like, listen, I got so aggravated that I had a wardrobe malfunction on stage. And I pulled my pants down. I thought that would have got people's attention. I really did. And I started swinging it around. And I was wearing boxers at the time, and it just popped out. And I just thought that would have got people's attentions. But it didn't. It didn't. I just can't believe what's going on out there in the world. And I'm very saddened by it. I know, GA Cracker. I'm out there. I would show you my set list but it's in my car. But my set list was was talking about, hey, is it me or I think we see a shadow war out here? And I started going on about how my family tried to commit me, but they couldn't because I explained to them the shadow war. And I went through the shadow war, and I shared it all the way down from 150 million voters to there's only 120 million registered. Nobody wants to hear it. What up, G Cracker? The peach state. I don't really eat peaches. I don't know why. I just never. I don't really eat much fruit. And anybody's more than welcome to come in and join me in the news. I don't mind. The blatant lying that just goes on, and a lot of people just gave up. A lot of people gave up. We can't give up though. There's no giving up. We have to fight harder now because that's what's in the playbook. And I mean, anybody see those Aborigines in Australia fighting back? That was here we go. We got 6 up in the house. Hello, 6.
Hey there, brother.
We have 6 Fingers, who is from Wales in the UK, across the big pond.
Oh man, you make me laugh.
How you doing, 6?
You make me laugh. You didn't really do that last night, did you?
I did, dude. You see, you got to see beyond that. You have to see beyond that.
I have seen. Of course, I see beyond that.
Listen, I got enough manhood for me and you, buddy. So it's I'm not worried about it. If somebody sees it, it only boosts my confidence. And so I'm not too worried about it. It's but I really thought that would have woke people up. But I have to understand that that when I pull my pants down on stage, that I have to follow up with a better act than that.
Yeah, but can't you? Don't you run the risk of getting done for indecent exposure?
Dude, it's a wardrobe malfunction. It's not my fault. Those other people go to jail for wardrobe malfunctions? I don't think so. Dude, I'm the only guy that you'll know that has a wardrobe malfunction on a daily on stage, performing, and his penis falls out. It happens.
Yeah, you're funny.
Thank you. I just try to be as the most I can as a person, because I just try to show people there's a lot more out there than what is holding you back. And listen, all the words I formulate and I put out here and I put together, nothing. I'm an expert of nothing. I'm just autistic, and I just keep going because I just have learned to put that fear under me, and I poop on it.
Exactly.
And I do a lot of things that I'm not proud of. I beat myself up on it, and I move on.
That's good. That's really good.
And okay, so one of the rules in mental health, and it really messes with my head, is you don't explain to somebody that, hey, it could be worse. And I'm just like, wait, and so that's like one of the most like ass backwards things you could ever imagine. Like, tell somebody, hey, I know what to do, but you're supposed to, keep them calm, always stay positive, but you can't be like, it can get worse. It can be worse. No, I believe you should kind of explain to people, like, listen, like, you still, you might not have both legs, but you have one leg. It could be worse. You could be missing everything up to your abdomen.
I get where you're coming from. I get it.
But I feel that the teachings that we've been taught for so long have just been the opposite of everything.
You're absolutely correct. That's the truth. They've lied to us about everything, and the system that they put in place, which we thought was normal, is totally abnormal. And we've been socially conditioned to think a certain way, and now the awakening is undoing that process. And that's quite a task, It's quite a task for any addict that comes into recovery, If he's honest with himself, he has to admit that everything he ever thought and knew before is worth jack shit, and he's got to start again from zero. It's almost like go to jail, do not pass go, do not collect £200. You've got to start from scratch and realise that the whole belief system that you had before, you're going to have to fracture it because it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit who you are, because we're spiritual beings having a spiritual experience in a physical body. And they don't educate us about that in school. And so we go forward into life. We don't know who we are. And that's the fact. And then all of a sudden, here we are halfway through our lives and we wake up. It's quite a shock to the system. It's like, hang on a minute. And what's going on at the moment, there's been some really, really good interaction on the different chats the last couple of nights. And there's people, people are starting to come together and sharing ideas, and that's really positive. Hey, Ronan. Hey, baby.
How you doing, man?
Even better for having you here.
It's always a good time with you guys. I love being here.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's absolutely a great time with you also, Ronan. I thank you very much, and I love the two of you. It's you ask God for help, and you just never know what he's going to bring you. Thank you very much.
That's a nice way of putting it.
No, it really is a truth. As much as I beat myself up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I dedicated myself to do this, and then I get on and you guys make me feel better. Thank you.
Cool. So what's good, fellas?
Nothing much. I just going through the news. I really wanted to get on last night, and I couldn't because I got home and I was going through my head about my set and what I could have did different, and then I have so my day is so much, just so
No,
much.
we get it. We get it. We get it. It's
Thank you,
cool.
thank you for understanding.
Yeah,
I'm
no, I
actually
knew.
glad that you
I
took
had
the
a
night
few-
off.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
you
me
needed
too.
it, and I was like, man, because then you just run yourself thin, and your immune system wears down that way too. We got to keep everything up tip top right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Drink water.
Correct. You're
It's
absolutely right.
anyway. It's no problem. We went to another nightclub. We were up all night somewhere else.
No, I'm so glad. I'm so glad there were other people that have picked up the flow or the slack, I shall say. And I know I come. I'm right now. I'm probably on top of. Am I still on top of Liberty Warrior? I'm not. I see he's been running his shows way late. And that's why I made
Liberty.
10 o'clock.
Well, Liberty Warrior. I just came off his show, and to be fair, it was pretty good. But the person that I think shone out more than anyone was Shane, because Shane is really he's hitting it home. He's saying, if people don't sort themselves out and do something immediately, we can say goodbye to it all. And I agree with him. It's people are getting fed up now with this flip the switch bullshit. It's gone on for too long.
Correct, and I really am fed up because I have to deal with misery, and what's going to happen is that everything is going to start increasing by twofold. Okay, and it's bad enough that her pocket's getting hurt now. Since her pocket's getting hurt now, my ear's getting hurt, and when my ear gets hurt, she goes for my ego. Okay, and that's what hurts me the most. And that's now I want to step up is because I'm being attacked emotionally. So I'm sorry to share all that, but it's that's going to be my driving factor is to get this woman just to stop talking to me.
Oh shit!
Good luck on that.
I've been trying for 6 years now. It just doesn't stop. It just keeps on coming. There's a new situation every day. Every day. 10 minutes ago, she asked me if her toenail was going to fall off. I said we're just going to have to say yes. The safe side is yes, and then it was my fault. It was my fault. I opened the drawer. No, I didn't, but it's okay. I'll take that on my shoulders.
Well, you were there somewhere.
I was in the basement and heard
it. Where'd 6 go?
Did I throw him out? I didn't purposely throw him out.
Must have lost signal or something.
Oh no, he's right there. He might have lost signal.
Oh.
Yeah. Hi, 6.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
We can hear you. We can
Yeah,
hear you.
I was on my other phone. It started glitching. I couldn't hear what Chipol said.
I said that it's been 6 years and you can never get women to be quiet ever, no matter what you do. And
she needs her own YouTube channel.
No, if her own YouTube channel would just be nothing, it would just be nothing. All my faults. It was how she cleans up after me. Everything I do is half-assed. I have too many things on my plate. I work too fast. I'm too aggressive. I curse too much. I do too many drugs.
I bet there's a couple other women out there that can sympathize with her, and they can all,
Yeah, no. It's out there though, but this actually has to go with it's a lot of it is not being able to match with your personality, or it could be they have fed into a propaganda that the man is not the man of the house anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm treated like a bitch. I'm somebody's bitch. That's not even a joke.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. It's not.
Listen, if it's any good to you, you're not the only one. I know plenty of biatches and plenty of miseries as well.
My dog treats me like a bitch. He yells at me, "Let me outside, give me food, clean up my crap." It's
Oh, you've actually woken up to the fact that you're not the boss. Good lad.
no, he's a good master though. See, he loves me even now.
Yeah,
That's
the way.
right. That's right. That's
My
right.
my dog's got a little medal on his collar, and it says "Talk to the poor."
I need a man's best friend or
Oh,
something.
you can't beat it.
I got y'all. I don't need that.
Oh
Yeah.
man, honestly, you can't beat it. You take it everywhere. I take Basil everywhere with me, and she goes in the back.
He comes with me a lot of places I go to.
Where the hell do you put that thing?
I have like the Mazda 5s or like the minivan.
Yeah.
I took the all the way back row out, so it's just it's all open now.
Right.
So he has that whole back section. We just drive around, the back windows open. He sometimes hangs his head out. He can go into like Lowe's and Home Depot.
Yeah.
They let you in there with dogs. Here they do anyway.
Right.
Is your dog leashed?
Yeah.
Okay.
He likes to be on a leash. And like sometimes in the yard, I have a little short leash I'll put on him. It doesn't touch the ground. It just kind of hangs from his neck. He doesn't have a barrel around his neck. So I think he kind of like adopted his leash as that's his barrel. You know what I mean? He's very protective. Like even the scarf he has, it's kind of like ratty and ripped up, but he doesn't really like me taking it off to clean it because like it's around his neck. He's protecting it,
Yeah, you
Oh,
put
wow.
whiskey in. Don't you put whiskey in it or brandy?
Yeah, in case you get trapped in the mountains,
That's
then they
right,
come find you.
Yeah. Oh, he's gorgeous, isn't he? What's his name?
Ronan.
Oh, of course he is.
Yeah. He goes by Baby Boy sometimes, most of the time.
I'm
though.
terrible for remembering names. Ronan. Basil, you'd like Ronan. Oh, Basil would like him. Basil's on his chair over there.
That is awesome.
It's
So,
funny. I've got this old. It's one of those old computer office chairs, the leather type, and he's chewed it to bits. There's hardly any leather left on it, right? But he loves the chair, and we can't take it off him. So we've got this. We've just decorated all the kitchen and everything, and we've got this dirty old office chair. So we've had to put a cover over it so he can lie on it. But he jumps up on there, and then he jumps up on his back legs are on the chair, and his front legs are on the sink, and he looks out the windows to see what's going on downstairs.
That's awesome. They're really cool. I'm very grateful to have them.
Oh, they're great fun, and the thing is, they get you out.
Yep.
They definitely do get you out.
And they're great companions, I mean, he sits by the side of me. He's in the passenger seat, and she's in the back seat, and it's like brilliant. And I open the passenger's window, and he hangs out. He looks like the dog out of the Never-Ending Story with his ears flapping in the wind. It's funny. Oh, they're great. They're great. Absolutely wonderful.
Yikes! What's that scary monster doing on the screen?
Okay. So,
Oh my God.
Nightmares.
So just to step into a small segment, something I just want to kind of push through as we do the news, as we do our show. Also producing the news. Let me. I'm trying to look for my timer. As we push through our news segment, I guess we could talk about things like Rachel Levin being declared a 4-star admiral as the first openly transgender 4-star admiral. How does anybody have an opinion about this?
Oh dear.
Was it in the Navy before? Like I know it was like
Let's see.
I don't know. That's everything's weird about that. Everything.
Absolutely. Everything. Totally.
I'm looking for the article now. It's I can't seem to find it, even though it's on screen share. Oh, here it is. Okay, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services publicly announced today the nation's first openly transgender 4-star officer across any of the 8 uninformed services. Oh, uniform. What's my problem? Uniformed Services, United States. Rachel Levin, who serves as HHS Assistant Secretary for Health and head of the U.S. Public Health Services Commission Corps, was ceremonially sworn in as a 4-star admiral. Admiral Levin now serves as the highest ranking official in the USPHS Commission Corps and its first ever female 4-star admiral. Wait. It's a female, or is she transgender?
Man, if I was a woman, I'd be pissed. He's stealing their titles. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
There's probably a woman worthy of that role who's earned it, who worked hard and probably ate a lot of shit to get somewhere that high in the ladder. And here comes this dude swinging his dick, takes her, you know. I'm sorry for my language. I'll tone it down.
No, it's okay. I did not expect you to say swinging junk.
I didn't either. It just came out.
And no, it's okay. That's what happened to me on stage. I didn't mean it. It just came out.
Well, I'm just thinking about what Chubby Brown would say about it. He'd say something like, "I'd like to know how she got out the fucking kitchen."
I mean, I'm sure he used to be in the Navy. I don't know how they would give him a 4-star admiral spot without being, already enlisted.
Because what they're doing, Chabal, right, is they're insulting God publicly, literally. Every single thing that's good, that was good and is good, they're just openly trashing it before our very eyes. And that's
okay.
They're the facts.
Yeah.
See, that's just the thing, though. Like, so I was woke at one time, and I used to see people for people. I didn't know about the propaganda, and now, I mean, people still expect me to look at this person and respect them for their decisions. Okay, I do, but now I believe you've been propaganded to that feeling. So now you have become an enemy to me because you are actually no. Or is it they're an enemy to me, or they my friend and not my foe because I have to care for them because they have true mental health disabilities?
Well, I think what Six was saying is he's right. They are mocking God. And also, you have to realize that there is a heavenly court that is being petitioned. And that is to rule that are we going to remain ruled by man? And what's going on with England and Australia right now is a separation from the Queen. As a worldwide people, we're standing up and saying we're adults and we can start acting like it. We have no problem treating each other like it. But what happens is the evil side will continuously petition the heavenly courts to show the Lord essentially that, look, they're still children. Look, we gave them a choice, good and evil, and yet they still choose evil over and over again. Look how they mock you. Not only do they make all these, the jabs and all that stuff, but here we have someone who is being held up to be the highest. What's the title? Department of Health and Human Services and the DHS.
Yeah.
Top ranking 4-star admiral. Clearly not of. I'm sorry to say it, but sound mind in a sense, right? Sound mind.
Correct.
They're mocking God. They're saying, no, God made a mistake with me. I'm going to make it right. I know better than God. So all these things are being tried in the heavenly courts to distinguish whether we are going to be free or if we're going to be continued to be enslaved by kings of this world, of the land, of a queen somewhere, a dollar or a something enslaving us. So all these little things add up. So Six is exactly right. That's what they're doing.
Yeah,
and
I thank you too. Yes, go ahead.
If you go back to, do you remember? I know I keep on going back to this 5-hour documentary, but there's a bit in there where what they're actually showing you in there, that they've done this before, this reset procedure. It's happened before, and it shows you the pictures of the cities. There's no people in them; they've gone. And then the next thing he's talking about is the creation of orphanages and orphans, right? And in the Victorian era, what they would do is they would immediately take the child off the mother and put it into adoption or into an orphanage, into the care of anybody but the mother. And the reason they did it was because they knew that by doing that, it fractured the child from birth. That was the whole idea. They did it purposefully. They knew what they were doing. And then what they did is they filled these populations with these orphans who bred, right, from this fractured species of humans. Right, now, this has been going on for centuries. And what it does is, because it's breeding, what it does is when they do that process, they know that they breed a child. They bring it into the world, and it's got no security, so it's ruled by fear. So because it's got a fear element that dominates its personality from birth, it's easily manipulated and malleable, and it will always be confused, so it can never reach the truth no matter how hard it tries, because it's in conflict within from birth. And this is what they do, because they've tried to hide all this from us in plain sight. And what that guy's illustrating to you in that documentary is, if you wake up, pay attention, and open your eyes and look around you, you'll see that the whole story doesn't match the narrative.
Nope.
Right? And it's like, if you have a look at a Masonic ceremony, you will not see any book. If you go into a church, you'll see a priest. In the old days, they used to read the Latin so the masses wouldn't understand it. And the priest would have his back to the congregation. But you've got to remember that these people operate, right? They use symbology and numerology.
Yes.
Right? Because everything about them's mathematics. They know who they are. And the problem is, we don't know who we are. Once we find out who we are and how we function as human beings, and we understand that, then we can understand how much they've deceived us and in which way. And once we wake up and realize that, it's game over.
It's game over. But it's going to be really hard. It's going to be coming from a man who stands on stage not yelling, but making jokes about it. I'm no Dave Chappelle, and he picked the easy subject, waking everybody up on the rest of the stuff. I'm still trying to learn. But okay, so Ronan, real quick, any last thoughts about this article?
Nope. I think it speaks for itself.
It speaks for itself. Okay, and listen, Six and Ronan, I thank you so much. Oh, shoot, wrong person, wrong. I thank you so much for reminding me that about God, because I forget. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I forget it's God's word. I wasn't raised on God.
No, we all do. I do. That's why I need people like you guys to remind me.
And I thank you so much. So the next article I would like to bring in for discussion. I'll start the timer in a second.
What Brew W says, the Amish are Masons too. Some of them, ain't that something? Hot diggity dog.
oh, they're everywhere. Oh, they're everywhere.
Man, you can't throw a stone. You can't throw a stone without hitting a Mason. What's going on here?
Well, I remember reading a book years ago, and it was called. I'm not interrupting you, Chabal. What you doing, am I?
Wait, no, wait. I know. Listen. We're all learning. We're all learning.
Okay. Years ago, I went to the library and I found this book, and it was called "The Great Pyramid: Man's Monument to Man," and it's by a guy called Tom Valentine. And it talks about the pyramid and all the measurements of it. And it's absolutely amazing book. And it says in it that the name Masons, it comes from the tribe Musons, and they were the architects. They were the builders of the pyramid, right? And what happened with the Musons? They killed most of them because they didn't want the secret getting out. And the handful that remained, these are the people now who are running our country. They've come from the tribe of the Musons, which is in ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia. Right, that's where it originates. And that's where Jesus went. When Jesus went, when he disappeared for 3 years, I think it was. Don't quote me because I'm no scholar. But when he disappeared, I think he went to Egypt, and he was studying the Teo, the way. And when he came back, that's what the message he was passing was: I am the way, the truth, and the life, and the way is the Teo, the law of opposites, electromagnetism, wave technology. And what that guy's showing you in that thing is all these buildings that they built, like these temples and these palaces and all that, they all had other purposes. They were transmitters, right? And when it all started making sense to me, I thought, shit, we're electric, aren't we? Right, so God's power moves through us in electricity because we're made up of water and the elements, the same elements as space. And when they start explaining it to you like that, you start understanding who God really is. And it's quite interesting. When when you read in the Bible, you'll know what I'm talking about, Ronan, for sure, because you're a Bible, you do study. When you're reading the Word of God, especially when you're reading the 4 chapters, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and you're reading Jesus's word, when he's talking about things like gives to Caesar what he sees, he's talking in parables. When you're listening to that, it's like something happens within your spirit. You know it, and I know it, and it's like a food. It's like you're with Jesus because you know that there's only him that can come from that place of higher understanding, and you can tap into it. And then you've got the delusion or the illusion that's been fed into the church that you have all these people that are waiting for Jesus, but Jesus never left. He's here now, and that's the trick that they played. Right, you've got all these Christians, they're confused. It's like Pastor Bob said the other day, and I agree with him. He said the car parks are full, but the church is empty. And it's true. People are turning up in droves to the church and making contributions and that. But there's no Jesus there. There's no spirituality. It's just people reading books and studying it and analysing it intellectually. And that's not it.
Holy. Okay, so I just read this whole thing. So sorry to interrupt.
It's okay. Okay.
I just read this whole thing about the Amish, or the hands-on military of the Masons of the Masonic Masons, and they just sit out there and just like wait for orders, and I never even had an idea. I mean, it kind of makes sense because I believe a lot of the Amish they take a lot of child traffickers. You ever noticed a lot of them are adopted?
That reminds me of a joke.
Go ahead.
What goes clickety clank, clickety clank, clickety clank, bang bang, clickety clank, clickety clank, clickety clank?
I don't know.
An Amish drive-by.
That's funny.
Gotta lighten it up a little.
More like,
I can't,
don't you mean?
Wow. That is funny as hell. That is very funny. Okay, so real quick. Okay, so my timer just went off. Okay, so the article I have is Ron DeSantis saying he will relieve the stress of the ports in New York and California. Does he get any service?
What do you mean? Does he get any service?
I might have said that wrong. Okay. So does he see any cargo ships come? Does he serve any cargo ships?
Well, you would think logically, if there's an issue at ports that ships can't get in, and he's opening his ports, that the ships would go there. But I'm gonna guess you're gonna say for some reason they're not.
Okay. I would say for some reason not. So you figure a cargo ship from New York to make it down to Miami would take what, 7 days?
I mean, that seems like a lot. I don't know how fast ships travel. I suppose I'm not versed in their knots and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm not versed in knots either. That was just a guess. I was like, if you're traveling 35 miles an hour, it takes us 24 hours in a car to all the way from Philadelphia to Miami, and 35 miles an hour is just a guess. 7 days, and I don't have any traffic lights to go through, so they might be all right.
Just look out for the subs
and icebergs.
Here's a question for you.
Okay, but what about the article though?
Well,
are the ships going there?
It does pertain to the article.
Go ahead.
Who has always run the unions?
Who's always run the unions?
Yep.
I'm not sure.
Oh yes, you are.
The Masons.
The mob.
Oh, close enough.
Yeah, exactly. The mob. The C_A. That's the mob.
So are the ships going to Florida? Are we going to get stuff in 7 days?
No,
I'm not.
These people are being paid to stand down.
Yeah, I think 6 is right, and I'm gonna go with what 6 has to say. Is I think these people are being paid to stay off our shores. And
some
how about what do you feel?
Some are being paid, and some are being blackmailed with their families. If they do certain things, their families are paid. It's the old mob. It's the way the mob have always worked.
Yeah,
dude, that's way beyond the mob. Dude, that's way beyond the mob.
Well, it's as simple as this, right? Operation Paperclip, right? They brought their top scientists in the country who became the industrial military complex. Then you get the Kennedy assassination, right? Kennedy was assassinated by the mob. That's been proven. And it also says it was in that mob, and we know who it was. We know who did it. Anybody who's done any research knows what happened. But the thing that they did leading into that assassination was they moved their people into the press, which was Operation Mockingbird. And they moved their people into the finance and into the military and into the everywhere else from Paperclip, basically, which was the C_A. Right, that's who they are. If you're thinking about the name they chose for that department, it's incredible. The Criminal Intelligence Agency. Think about it. Criminals with intelligence.
I think the shipping thing is a little bit more. It probably has to do with that. Plus, also, at the UCC is in charge of all that. That's the body, the governing laws of shipping, and actually how we operate here in the U.S. Also,
Ronan, I get that, but if you go back and do a little bit, back and do a little bit of research, right? You have a look what was going on in Germany in 1935.
Anyway, with the bill of lading, whoever orders that stuff has to sign and pay for it. So if there's a controversy as to who's CEO of the corporation, if you will, that could also delay delivery, because I'm not going to give you goods I'm not going to get paid for. And whoever owns that stuff on that boat eventually is going to want their money one way or another. They don't give a shit if you're paying the captain to sit there or not. At some point, they're going to say, you know what? Someone's paying me.
Yes, correct. And they do have a lot of money. Those ships, they're traveling with I guess a travel purse. I mean, they do have to stop and refuel. They have to. Some of them have to go through the Panama Canal, and that could cost $500,000 on one trip.
Right? Isn't that crazy? Even that, like how when they were talking about the Suez Canal and how expensive it is to get a ship through there, it's unbelievable.
Correct. So that's why I would doubt ships would come from California to go to Florida. But if they really are sitting there and they're losing $500,000 a day, then I think it's time to rolling.
Yeah, but this is what Mr. T was saying. He said the difference between them and us is they stick together. So what they're doing is they're using all their resources against us.
But
But
I think Ronan got a good point with somebody's paying that man on that ship, and he might not be part of their clique.
yeah,
But go ahead.
he's whether he's part of the clique doesn't make any difference. He's still been infiltrated. He's still been influenced, and he's doing what they want him to do.
Correct. Okay. So we probably might get goods. We might not get goods. It's really up to how they're going to get here. So we're going to move on to the next subject. It's Supreme Court hands police huge win, protects police from lawsuits in 2 qualified immunity cases. The article was saying, I read some of it, that that you can have immunity to the virus, and so you don't really have to get the jabberoonie.
Well, qualified immunity means if I'm a police officer and I do something to hurt you, you can't sue me. That's what qualified immunity is. So
Okay. Yeah,
what this is a very interesting story, because what the Supreme Court said is that so we all know the story of George Floyd and what persecution that police officer went through. So what they're saying is, well, he does have qualified immunity. So what qualified immunity is, I can't sue you in civil court. You're acting as an officer, a peace officer, right? That's what it's really a policy enforcement officer. So as I'm acting as such, if I do something within the scope of my duty and I cause harm to you, you can't sue me. Now there's our extremes to that, where if I go beyond that, if I'm acting, even if I'm wearing the uniform and I'm acting outside my authority, and let's say you know your rights and you stand up again and you say, no, I don't have to identify myself because I have not committed a crime and you're not investigating that. Am I being detained? You said I'm not being detained. That means I'm free to go. I don't have to identify myself. This is America. And if that cop says, you know what, I suspect you of a crime and I'm doing an investigation, he goes rogue and throws you to the ground and hurts you or something. Now the question is, does he have qualified immunity to do that? We know the right thing is no, because he's acting outside of his scope of his duty. However, what the law says now is they're going to look at it a little bit more. Well, if he said he suspects you of a crime and is doing an investigation, you have to comply with that. He can compel you to comply with that, as the law says. And by compel you, they mean we're going to throw your ass down on the ground and we're going to take your ID and we're going to figure out who you are and we're going to write you tickets. We're going to do all that stuff. That's how the law compels you. So these 2 cases that the Supreme Court gave back to the police is saying, well, now they do have some of that power. I don't know how to take this, because I think, I have a hard time being a police officer and enforcing my will or the law on anybody outside of murder and rape, really. So I wouldn't care to throw someone down to the ground unless I really knew they, are committing such an egregious act. So this is something we have to kind of keep an eye on and see, who is this going to be used against? Do you think this is going to be used against Antifa or the Patriots?
I don't know, but I'm just glad you stopped me before I continued to make myself look like more of an idiot.
Oh, no, bro. I love you. I wouldn't let you do that.
No, thank you, because I was like, qualified immunity. I was like, oh man, that means we good. The police win.
So like in law school, they teach you qualified immunity is also something like if your municipality offers a service, for example, let's say they do trash collection for free and you get hit by a trash truck, you can't sue the city.
Yes.
Isn't that,
And
So-
but no, correct. Once you brought it to my brain and put 2 and 2 together, because I was like qualified immunity, but then now I know about qualified immunity, because when people, like, the whole thing you explained, like I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I was thinking of the antibodies and not persuading to the job of the police officer.
You're right about that too. It's 2 rights today right here in this story.
So listen, people get a good laugh, and I just and now I learn because I say it to myself all the time, Chabot, you gotta stop reading just the headlines. Like I say, listen, I say that to myself all the freaking time.
They change the headlines real time sometimes. I've witnessed, like, I was reading a story and hand to God, reading a story. I refreshed and it's an entire new title to the same story. I was like, how is this happening? So
That's,
I started taking screenshots of them every now and then when I found them to be really interesting, just in case.
That's happened with me with Wikipedia.
It's nuts.
I've watched Wikipedia change in front of my face. And yeah, but thank you very much for so yes, we will have to keep up with this and keep following up with it, because we want to know on where this goes, because I definitely want qualified immunity for the Second Amendment when I take back our country for tyranny. Okay, so thank you. Okay, so moving on. Shh, you're too loud. I don't know how to shut this off now. Okay, stop. There we go. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next subject. The next subject, when I grab it up there, is going to be about the CDC on continually posting about a zombie apocalypse. How do you feel about that? About them constantly telling you to prepare for a zombie apocalypse?
That's nuts. I saw pictures, like a TikTok thing of
This
Navy.
is the CDC website right here. It's not. This is .gov.
My goodness. I don't know.
You listen. Everybody thought I was joking about when they turn the 5G on and what's going to happen to that metal inside your system. Nobody wants to hear it. That's why I won't feed my kid Gerber food anymore. Because I just don't want to see the outcome when 5G starts playing Magneto.
The Navy's received training on this too. I saw on Telegram. They're receiving flyers or operating manuals, I suppose. Yeah,
pamphlets. And no, you're absolutely right. And I'm so sorry, Georgia, if I left you in the chat. But right now our topic of discussion with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left is the CDC preparing us for a zombie apocalypse, and their constantness of posting it on their CDC government page. I think my personal opinion is I think it's real. I think that they could really do some damage by turning on that 5G. And I watched what happens when these nanobots are magnetized, and they just sit there and they just eat like a little Pac-Man, and just eat and eat. And if they get inside your brain, you a zombie. That's it.
Do you know what a lobotomy is?
Yeah. Definitely know what a lobotomy is. That's removing a portion of your brain, depending on what portion they want to get rid of, that's disrupting your life.
Doesn't that kind of sound like what this is?
Oh yeah.
But they're not actually going in. They're just, typically a lobotomy, like back in the day, they would cut the front part of people's brains out there that they thought were crazy, and then they would calm them down. They wouldn't die, but they'd walk around like a zombie, right? And that's
correct.
Kind of like a tweak.
Yeah. Wait, say that one more time, Georgia, so the audience can hear.
Kind of like a tweak.
Maybe like a tweak. I would say I would refer him to as a zombie. Like Ronan was saying, a tweak is would more or less be somebody that was I would feel is wired. Let's
meth head.
Correct. That also could be the case if depending on what part of the brain was cut out.
Right.
And so yes, I could say kind of like a tweak in some cases, but okay. So in prison we used to have these guys who would be on Thorazine, and we used to call it the Thorazine shuffle, because all they did was just drag their feet, and dude. You had to tell these people each, like when they ran into a fork on the road, like literally they would stop, and that was it. That they would just stop because they didn't remember if they had to go left or they had to go right. Now they took this walk let's say Medline was 3 times a day, Chow was 3 times a day. So let's say they took this walk 6 times a day. A guard would be placed at that fork during this Medline time check because these guys would wander all over the prison because of the Thorazine shuffle. And they were just like zombies. And that's how I could imagine this what's going to happen, because there was this one guy who was at comedy, okay, and before all this he was all right guy. Wasn't that funny, but he was okay though. But after he got his first one, his second one, and now his booster, the dude just like he's just like, I live with my parents in the basement, and they don't really like me anymore. And I was like, dude, like what happened to you? And even other people acknowledge it. It's I think we're really setting ourselves up for something. And now
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think they even realize they're just so programmed and
Well, and that's what they're
Go
doing.
ahead.
Like how you explained, there had to be a guard placed at that fork in the road. Now, this is metaphorical, but in their minds, they're going to be faced with a fork in the road, if you will. However, there's not going to be a guard there. They're going to be able to control the herds via some kind of signal. You say 5G. I don't think it's that. I think that's the name they're using to disguise it. I've had 5G in my house for like the last 4 or 5 years. I have a modem I think I bought in 2014. It's MIMO and 5G. So I think that's what they're telling us they're installing. And this is my theory. I have nothing to base it on other than just kind of observing and seeing the life around me. And so, what better ruse than, we have 4G LTE was supposed to be long-term evolution. That technology was designed so we don't have to keep switching all this stuff. I worked for AT&T, and that's how I know a lot of this. And what they did, as they would upgrade towers in the city, they would move those towers out to the country, and that's how they would expand networks. It was very expensive to do so, and all different companies were using different technologies. That's why you had Sprint used a different bandwidth, CDMA versus GSM, that kind of stuff. So this LTE, 4G LTE, was designed to long-term evolution so that we wouldn't have to keep replacing this stuff. We could upgrade it, right? Now, all of a sudden, that goes right out the window, and they're putting up these 5G towers, which, well, that's weird, because the 4G LTE was designed for that long-term evolution. It hasn't been that long, even in technology years. So I suppose, sorry for going off on a tangent there, but I just wanted to kind of bring that to people's minds as well.
No. That's the whole point of the round table and discussion is to provide provide different output or input. And I definitely like the way you feed things, and I definitely take it in and listen. And I thank you very much. And but the 5G, I definitely think there could be some back doors, and it can turn into a microwave at any given second. Who knows? I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe you're safe because you don't have any nanobots inside of you.
That's true. So far, nanobot free, as far as I know.
You didn't eat Gerber food lately?
Not lately.
All right, you might be okay then. All right, we're safe. Okay. So this next subject is military, federal employees, and civilian contractors sue the Bootstraps administration over the vaccine mandate. I believe this is what this is. And discharge from the military, termination from employment. So yes, this is them suing about the vaccine mandate. Do you think they win?
I think in my personal opinion, the only people that have a case here would be the civilian contractors. I'm sorry, military and federal employees, but you don't own your own ass. So they're going to put whatever they want in it.
I was just watching something on that. They don't own their own ass, and they have to be mandated to receive these jabroonies no matter what the day they sign up.
You can get reprimanded for getting a sunburn in the military. You don't own your body. You know what I'm saying? But you sign up for that in a sense. You're signing up to serve. So in my eyes, the only people that have standing right there would be the civilian contractors.
That's rough. That's rough. I'm actually hurt. I'm actually hurt to hear that. Not you don't even think because it's still in trial. It's still in
Yeah.
trial phase.
Well, and it's worth a try. The only thing I could see is a religious exemption, and they've said like those have worked in the past. And there's a couple of soldiers I saw that put up videos that said they got their orders to get it, and they're still waiting for their religious exemption to come in.
Oh yeah, they're definitely trying to head that off though. I don't know. I don't know if be kind of hard if you had all these other jabberoonies and you're like, okay, don't want this one because of religious reasons.
Well, it's not like the typical is that builds antibodies, right? It's mRNA. It changes your DNA, the physical structure, the actual fiber that God put in your body is what they're trying to change. That's
Correct.
different.
That's it. Splits it right in half. Splits them genomes right in half. Oh, I'll tell you, best of luck to you. Best of luck. One of the best ways you could find out about it all is go and try to donate some blood. Go ahead, I dare you. But your heart's gonna break. You're gonna break real hard. That's why they sending me constant emails like, "Yo, come on in." Like, we know you didn't get the jabberoonie. We need your blood. We'll pay you for it. $75 and a Home Depot gift certificate.
A cookie and a juice box.
Oh, they gave you a lot more than that, dude. I used to go down there and donate patlets to all them, probably to Joe Biden. He was probably drinking my patlets. He's like,
that's why he's tripping up them stairs. He couldn't.
Yeah, dude, I do way too many drugs. I will take down an elephant.
It's like, what's going on?
He was like, that one's some bull platelets. Oh. Yeah, man, and I'm dead serious though, man. Go try to donate some blood after you got the jabberoonie. They're gonna tell you nicely, no, here's a juice box and a pack of cookies. Bro, definitely right on top of that one.
You're hilarious.
Thank you. And so yeah, that's the story about that one. So yeah, the military does not own their body, and I do agree with that one also. So so the board says you're screwed. No, I'm kidding. You're not screwed. We're here to fight for you. And so we're going to move on to the next. Oh, that's the Binance. Does anybody know how to read a cryptocurrency chart? I'm learning. It's really cool. Okay, here we go. Let's try this one. Okay, the Biden administration asked the U.S. Supreme Court to block the Texas abortion. What do you think about this? Do you think it could be possible?
Well, the way the Constitution is written, the states have the rights to make those laws. So this will be interesting.
Okay. I agree with that. And
So,
go ahead, Georgia.
they've already tried to get a stay of the abortion law in Texas, and finally another judge said, "Nope, go ahead." Threw out the stay, and now they're still going after it. You know, like you said, the states' rights. You know, but the federal government hasn't been giving a crap about states' rights.
That's a good point. And that's what makes this case so interesting, because the Supreme Court, if they do hear it and they rule on it and they rule in the favor of the states, that opens up a whole new opportunity for every state to make their own law on abortion, which I believe is what they should do if that's what they want to do. The states have those rights. And if you live in a state that you don't like the laws, you can try and change them or you can move. But if they rule in favor and say that Texas doesn't have this right, that's a huge problem, and I don't think it's going to be the last we hear of it. I think it's, you know, it seems like a blunt violation of the Constitution, if you ask me. But
And this is a blockbuster case, you know, that they may not even want to listen to,
mm-hmm.
you know, because it will cause basically a revolution, you know, of states' rights.
Yep.
Absolutely, and I think we're just catching the very beginning of it, and this is one of the greatest times to be alive in the world.
Can I
Because,
just come in? Can I just come and tell you that over on Search for Truth channel, there's 534 patriots in there having their discussion about what's going on. I don't know if you fancy going over and joining them.
Are you cheating on us with another channel?
I'm afraid I am. Yeah, I am.
I'm just poking fun at you.
But the thing is, I'd like to get in on that discussion. I'd like to hear what's being said.
No, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Please do.
Come over and join us after.
No, well, yeah, absolutely. I have a show to build.
Okay,
and,
okay. I'll catch you after.
No. Thank you so much, Six, for joining us.
Keep the flag flying, guys.
Absolutely. 2 fingers.
Love you all. 2 fingers, dude. And say hello to Mr. Munster. I love him.
Absolutely, sir.
See you after.
Yes, sir. Catch you later. I guess he was getting some better news. It's okay though, and I'm just glad I have you guys here, and this is what makes the best of it.
I'm glad to see GA came up. I see him chatting all the time. He says a lot of good stuff.
Correct.
I'm just an introvert. I don't talk much.
Chabal does a lot of talking for everybody.
Yeah. I kind of just want to sign up. It's all a learning experience for me, as I learn to project my words properly, think faster, and get out what I need to say in a manner where everybody can understand, such as Archbishop Vinago. Vaccine victims are sacrificed at the altar of Moloch.
Correct.
Now he's pretty much saying that the Jabberwoony is the symbol of Moloch, right?
I think. Oh, sorry, G. Go ahead.
No. I almost said something, but no, you go ahead.
Oh, I think the symbol of Moloch is the owl. Okay. And now going back to the story we were talking about, the zombie apocalypse type situation.
Okay.
So, in a sense, I mean, I think you're right. I think they're going to flip a switch and people are going to start acting real goofy. Okay. And what he's saying is there's been like a common saying throughout like my groups is it's get in the ark, don't take the mark. So the idea is that there's something goofy going on with this, and from what we read in the Bible, it could potentially be this. There's no real reason. We all need to hurry up and get this for our health. Obviously, they've proven that over and over again, and it's an adverse effect to our health apparently. So he's probably one of the only ones speaking the truth, in my opinion. He'd probably end up suicided soon.
He's been speaking the truth for a couple years now, though.
I mean, they just came out with a new pull on a blood pressure medication because it causes cancer.
Oh, shit.
I think it was in the Epoch Times.
So basically what he's saying. Oh, go ahead. I'm so sorry to interrupt. I'll bring this over. Wait, can you repeat that again, Georgia? I was reading at the time.
Okay. I didn't get to read the article, but I think it was in the Epic Times about a blood pressure medication that's being pulled from the market because it causes cancer or something along that lines, or it was tainted. And what is tainted with what causes cancer.
Oh wow.
Mm.
So basically, this is just a giant crime against us for a long time.
Right, right.
And
Just like symbol. What is it called? The quit smoking one.
Chantix. I heard about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, correct.
Chantix causing cancer. Yeah.
So basically, what he's saying is that if you got the Jabberwocky, you have been sacrificed by them to their god of Moloch, and you've been handed over to their god's hands.
Yeah, remember what I told you? These same trials that are happening on earth are also happening in the courts of heaven. That just as real as you see and hear from me right now. Okay, and what he's saying is right, and everyone's being forced to choose who this day who
Wait,
you will serve.
wait a minute. So this is pretty much saying that so anybody who took the Jabberwocky is a follower of them, and so they put themselves in their god Moloch's hands, and it's whether or not it's up to him to take them.
Kinda, but what it's saying is that because we felt like the easy thing to do was comply. The easy thing to do was bend the knee, right? We see that there's a great resistance with a good reason. So common sense would say, well, I'll wait a little bit at least, right? But you have those people that are like, line me up, let's do this, let's get it going, let's keep, whatever it takes to keep everything as it was and everything, moving smooth. They just comply easy, bend the knee. Then things got a little tougher, right? And then it started to be, well, you can't go places if you don't have it, or you're going to get fired. Now we're seeing they're kicking people out of the military for it. They're really putting that pinch on. You have to do this. Why? It doesn't make sense. When we look at the facts and the data, things don't line up. What is it? So if you're of weak mind and you just don't care and you want to go with the flow and because whatever life, you just want an easy life and just go with it, then yeah, go ahead, line up, do it, and then you chose who your master is. But if you're of common sense and you have that Holy Spirit in you, because I don't know what else to tell you it is that's telling you no, don't do it, or think about it first. Use your brain, at first, and then the guidance, of the divine. He has his children too, and he takes care of them, and sometimes it looks like it's in weird ways, but
Correct. No, absolutely. And I'm glad I was able to understand that and comprehend that. And I guess for the people, you should pray, because obviously somebody put you at the hands of their God.
that's right.
So you
I
should
think
go ahead.
I think part of it is you can't do it without knowing first. You have to, kind of like the devil has to tell you what he's going to do, and you have to agree to it first, right? So at some
Yes.
level, there is a mercy there. Like I don't know. Like my question is, what about like the young people that have received this that aren't of an age to decide for themselves, right? So I know that there will be some mercy in this. I don't think that it's going to be as bad. I think part of it is they're kind of trying to instill a little fear or something. I don't know, but I kind of think there is an antidote. I don't know why I think that. It's just something that kind of floats around in my head. Nothing specific that's I've read or heard, but I don't know. I have peace about it.
Understood. Well, thank you very much. And so one of the last article. Oh no, it's only 11:15. Um, so reported by the Barrett News, Eric Prince, NYPD are ready to arrest in the Anthony Weiner case. And Blackwater founder and former Navy SEAL Eric Prince told the Barrett News Daily on a Sirius XM that according to one of his well-placed sources in the New York Police Department, the NYPD wanted to do a press conference announcing the warrants and additional arrests they were making in the Anthony Weiner investigation, but received huge pushback from the Justice Department. Oof. Well, gosh, this is it's huge news that only I'm only hearing about from me.
Yep, that's all I heard about it too.
And it's this is something that could really blow up the investigation. Could this be the arrest that shocked the world? Probably not, but I would definitely like to see it. I mean, do you know the story about his wife and Hillary?
Is that Uma chick his wife?
Yeah, Uma's his
That's
wife.
gross. Oh man.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine the things these three have done together? This woman right here has worn another young girl's face.
I can't believe that's just so disgusting.
While this woman right here cut it off.
For whatever reason, I didn't make those two connections that she's married to that dude. But it makes all the sense in the world now.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's listen. Believe it or not, Ronan, we're kind of put here together to help each other out.
I believe it. You're helping me lose
You've
my lunch.
You've helped.
She's ugly and that dude's disgusting. Look at that. It's gross, dude. It just screams pedophile all over his face. He has a wiener nose. That's
definitely does scream pedophile all over his face. I don't even know why we can look at this photo. I think this photo came from a young girl's phone. So I might be breaking the law.
Man,
it came from one of his victims' phones. And Uma, I thought Uma was attractive. That makes me feel less of myself now, Ronan. I need my antidepressants.
Well, I mean, like if she wasn't if she wasn't so evil, I mean, maybe. All I could see is just like evil. I don't know. It's like I could see the horns raising out of her head.
Correct. You're right. Ever since I found out, all I could ever see is evil. But before I knew about the evil, when I used to see like Uma, I was like, oh man, dude really did that to that chick? Like, what is your problem, dude?
Oh yeah, if I saw a chick like that but not evil, I'd do a double take. You know what I'm saying? But this way, I just run the other way. It's like, nah. That's what Hillary's doing right there. She's kissing that horn.
That's exactly what she's doing. And listen, everybody, it's not about the way a woman looks, because listen, bigger women look good too, and sometimes it's always nice to have some cushion for the pushing. Okay, so it's not always about the looks or the size.
It's about the heart first.
Dangle right and holding a conversation. Well, no, it's not about the heart first. You have to find out if she's Republican or if she has open views. But if she's Democrat, she has no heart. Okay, we're just going to put it that way.
That's right.
And that's just the way I feel. That's my next interviewing process. Be like, what is your political status? Please put it here.
That's right. That's the first thing on Tinder.
I'll take independent. If you voted for bootstraps, please swipe left.
Check the box.
Yep.
Okay. So we covered this story a couple days ago, and it has brought itself back into the news. The father from that his young daughter was sexually assaulted at that school.
Oh man.
Which is back in the news.
Brew W looks at credit score first when he's looking for ladies.
And oh yeah. Absolutely, because you don't want to pick up nobody else's debt. You know what I mean? Could you imagine if she was floating her boyfriend before you for all them years and intruding that debt because she was such a loyal girlfriend?
Wouldn't that suck? You'd be paying her credit card bills for the money for stuff she bought for her other for her ex-boyfriend.
Exactly.
That ain't happening.
Okay, so Loudoun County prosecutor who sought to jail father of girl allegedly assaulted at school, tied to Soros McAuliffe. McAuliffe. McAuliffe.
Oh, that prosecutor is tied to him.
Yes.
So that
Correct.
prosecutor probably received a ton of campaign contributions from that monster.
860,000
Jeez
from
Louise.
Soros and led PAC. And also McAuliffe joined a rally this month. Oh wait, who received PAC joined they joined a McAuliffe rally this month. And so I try to read and listen at the same time, but you guys didn't say anything. But my brain goes so many different ways. So basically, I don't even need to read through this article to kind of understand what it says. Is that dude was pretty much asked to throw this case under the bus or under the rug, not let it be seen because they can't let it get out because a boy in a girl's dress in a girl's locker room sexually assaulted a female. And so basically the George Soros Foundation said, don't let this get out.
Why does he care if that gets out? Like, why does he care if justice is served in that case?
Because it breaks their whole narrative on them being able to share bathrooms. You know, the transgenders don't get to pee standing up. They can't pee standing up anyway.
So it kind of sounds like their whole narrative on that revolves around them being able to control the MSM and what we receive.
Yeah, correct. All the information that we receive, and no, I don't. I mean, I barely hear about this case on anywhere.
You don't hear it anywhere.
Wait, you don't hear about this anywhere?
No, only here.
No, I heard about it.
Oh, where was I didn't hear about it. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I've caught it on a couple lower scale news streams with huge followings, but that's about it. Not on my local news station.
Yeah, like not on Fox or any like the big news stations.
Correct. But
no, Epic Times maybe.
Right. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Correct, and I think that's maybe where I may have got it from was the Epic Times, but this article was written out by Fox News, but not projected on their broadcast. But for some reason, I'm thinking Tucker Carlson might be handling it. I'm not sure, but that's it's very disturbing and it hurts my heart.
The main focus of the Soros Foundation, as far as like transgenderism and all that stuff, is to decay the moral fiber of the United States and bring us basically to ruin.
Correct, and it's to break a lot of people's spirits, willpower, and destroys his people. I totally agree with you, and I'm just trying to look for okay, so this let me just grab this article real quick. How about the top 1% own all the wealth in the world? Top 10% own 89% of all U.S. stocks. There's no more middle class.
Nope. No more middle class. They killed them off with the farmers.
That's it. I don't. I'm trying to figure out how to share this. Give me a second. And yeah, it's absolutely disturbing. Where are we? Here we are. And this was reported by RT News. Wealth inequality. Richest 10% of Americans own 89% of all U.S. stocks. The top 1% incredibly gained more than $6.5 trillion in corporate in titles and mutual fund wealth during the Rona-19 pandemic, while the bottom 90% added 1.2 trillion, according to the latest data from the Federal Reserve. The growing concern of wealth comes despite millions of new investors coming into the stock market for the first time during the pandemic, leading to what many have labeled the what's that word?
Democratization.
Democratization of stocks. Thank you. Good job. And I'll tell you what, I jumped into the stock market. I that's how I found cryptocurrency. Go ahead.
Do you remember that app Robinhood? And and some of the scummy things they did when people were calling that they're buying the shorts. I can't remember the name of those folks on. They had that channel going. I think it was on Pinterest, and they organized and Reddit. Yep.
Wall Street Bets or something.
Wall Street Bets. And remember when that app Robinhood screwed all those people over and wouldn't let them trade?
And Citibank, I believe.
And Citibank. Okay, yeah, I know there was more, but I know for sure it was that one app. And the irony was the name of
Citadel.
Yeah, and the irony of it all is the name of the app, Robinhood. Their whole motto was so that folks like myself with a few bucks can throw it in the market, right? And we're gonna get that big guy. And what did they do? They jumped right into bed with the big guy, made sure that he kept that 1% of the population or whatever keeps the entirety of the wealth.
Oh,
so
bro.
This just goes to prove, even from the stuff that we've read in the past and some of the things that we've seen, every attempt we've made to take claim to some of that, right? They say, nope, can't do it. We need to make sure that the wealthy stay wealthy, and we're going to screw your apps. Even if you call it Robinhood and you think you're stealing from the rich to give to the poor, we're not going to let you do that. So this all is part of that.
You are absolutely right, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because I've been following that case, and it's been 9 months since it's happened, and it was fraud. It was all fraud, and you have to see the way these people have been dancing around the fraud that they've committed, where they took away the buying and selling a button from all these people, so these people could try to get their short sell back. But they wouldn't admit that it was a short sale, and the people that really got screwed was the little people, and the retailers are the ones that were really upset they couldn't get in, and they shut down the whole system so they could try to break even with the money they were trying to steal, essentially.
Yep.
Everybody lost money except for the retailing platforms. But they did a disservice to the people, because they signed a contract with the United States government saying that they were going to be able to provide sales no matter what, and that's the contract that they broke. That they didn't complete the sales like they were ordered to or said they would. But it looks to it that they're going to get off scot-free,
right? Because they probably have one of those Soros-backed prosecutors over the case.
That came out today.
Did it?
Today. That's genius of you. Did you know that, or did you
I didn't know it came out today. No, I was just from when I saw this, it's like we'll never get out of this, no matter what we can do. They will always own that many stocks, if not more, in all of them. They're going to only let us own what they want us to own. And even though we think we own it, we don't even own it.
You're right. And I'm learning that too. That's why I didn't buy off of Binance. Because if you buy off of Binance, you don't own it until you remove it from the Binance. Until then, they hold your crypto. I didn't know that.
So it's interesting.
Correct. That and then also, oh gosh, I'm learning so much. My brain hurts. Is that they can tell you that there's 100,000 stocks out there, but really there's like 300,000 stocks out there, or there's 900,000 stocks out there, and you're getting a fraction of a stock.
Yep.
So you can't even really own their company like you think if you buy like every stock out there, like, oh, I'm the majority owner. They're like, you bought 1/3 of the fraction of our actual stock, but we're holding 2/3 of the actual stock that you bought.
Yep.
And I'm just like, oh, dude, my brain hurts. My brain hurts trying to learn all this. But you know what? I love it. I can't give up. I just need more. And I wish I would have paid attention to school more, but I needed to smoke that crack. That crack was waiting for me. That taught me more than anything. Oh, that crack.
Probably not as far off as you think. School, all they do is program you. They don't teach you, remember? It's programming. It's not teaching.
Oh, you damn right. I didn't learn a damn thing in school now that I think about it. So, you know what? Thank God for that crack.
You're doing fine now.
Yeah. Blessed thy crack.
I say we go back to the barter system. We don't need their stupid paper money anyway. Look, all it's done is enslave us. Go back to gold, silver, wheels of cheese, loaves of bread. Who cares?
I'm okay with that. So I just want to end it with this last one, just in case nobody has seen this one yet either. And that's what baffles me so much, that you guys don't catch all this, and that hurts my heart. That's why I got to stick with my station. Here we go. And screen share that. Okay, Israel approves 1.5 billion budget for potential strike on Iran. The funds nearly 1 billion in this year's budget and over $500 million in 2022 will reportedly go towards aircrafts, intelligence gathering, and dedicated armaments that can enable an attack on Iran's nuclear program. Armaments. Okay, that's new to me. But what do you feel about all that? Do you think that they will strike towards Iran? Because in the Anon or QAnon board, it says Israel is last. Oh, I took that away. I'm so sorry. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, on the QAnon board, Israel's last to go.
Last to go in what sense?
Last to go down.
Oh, the weird thing about Israel is, weren't they all proud about how many of them got the Jabberwocky? Wasn't that something they were boasting about? And
correct. Yes. That like 98.5% of Israel is Jabberwoonied.
So I mean, with just knowing that, it's like right away, I don't know what to think about that country anymore. As far as them attacking Iran, I guess I have no idea. I don't know. I think Iran and Russia are probably going to ally up for some weird reason. But I don't know what to think.
It could be very possible. Go ahead, Georgia.
it could possibly lead to the biblical destruction of Damascus, but I don't know. I don't know. Just to let y'all know, and yeah, I'm very pro-Israel. Okay, but no, I had not heard that story at all. But yes, they pretty much fully vaccinated, which makes me worry about everybody dying over in
Yeah.
Israel.
Correct. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not anti-Israel by any means. I'm pro
No,
Israel as well. So don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I'm just when I heard that and
no,
how they were boasting about the Jabber, I was like, that is just so weird to me. I worry about them as well.
no.
Well, I'm glad to have you two pro Israel. I'm actually pro Palestine, and
Okay, I
I
don't have a problem.
okay, good, because I don't have a problem either, because but I believe that that it's all a crime against that country and that nation, and I don't want to see the destruction of the area. Maybe um some kind there would never be an agreement. Who am I kidding? um I don't know what to think of it either. I always kind of thought that this was kind of going to happen, that these two were going to blow each other off the face of the planet. And on
Yeah,
the QAnon board it says that Israel goes last. And
right.
I I I don't know what that means, but I do know how Israel was built, and I do know everything behind the nation.
There's a lot of U.S. senators that have dual citizenship with U.S. and Israel, which I think when they first founded it, there was some sort of like ceremonial type thing they did to do that. But then like more and more got it, which I always found that to be weird too. Like you work for us. Like I don't think any U.S. senator, member of the House, any congressman, woman whatsoever, or like dual citizenship to be a member to run this country just seems odd to me, regardless of the country you're dual citizen in. But like I think the guy in Texas, I don't know if he's a Canadian citizen, Cruz, isn't his like I think his
Yeah,
dad or something's
Ted.
Canadian. Yeah. So that just always seemed odd to me.
A lot of it seems odd to me. After it took us so long to get a U.S. embassy in Israel, right? It was the U.S. embassy.
I think they didn't. It wasn't that just they moved it from.
Tel Aviv to Jerusalem.
Yeah, that's what Trump did, I believe. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't have it. So that means we didn't have a U.S. embassy in Jerusalem, but we paid for their Iron Dome.
But well, we had one in Tel Aviv,
We also had one in Tel Aviv, also.
which is part of Israel. Yeah. So they just moved from one city to another, is what Trump did. If I believe, I might be mistaken. GA, I think, knows more than I do on this. It sounds like.
So why are they
No.
so? Go ahead, please answer. I also want to know why they were so up in arms about it, though.
Basically, Jerusalem is also the where the rock. What is it called, Mama? The Rock of the Mosque, Mosque of the Rock, something like that. On the Temple Mount. So both the Islamics and the Jewish people hold Israel very sacred. But up until the last 4 years, the capital of Israel has been Tel Aviv. So now Jerusalem is recognized as the capital of Israel. That's what that's all about.
Oh, so it's more than just our embassy. That's probably like a minor story to that nation moving its entire capital, which also seems to be very symbolic as well.
Right. And the Islamic countries in the Abraham Accord recognizing also Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. That there has to be a cure to the shot. Two reasons. One, for the sake of the Jewish people, and two, it's real personal with me. I've got at least two kids who've taken the shot. You know,
Oh wow.
I believe you're right. I think there is too.
you know.
I think there's an antidote or a cure, however, whatever it is. It might be just a flip of a switch of a different frequency for what all we know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But I agree with you on that too.
But I also agree on you don't have to be you don't have to be Moloch doesn't have to take you if you're not if you don't want to be part of Moloch's plan.
Yeah.
And I'm learning every day, and I will say a prayer, and if you guys want to end it out in prayer, please go right ahead. If you want me to end it, I will in prayer. Where's my phone?
Hey, Ronan, if you want to end it in prayer, that's fine with me. I just want to say I love you guys and thank you for letting me come up.
Georgia, I love you too, Georgia. We need you more than you might think. And
Yeah,
you
I love
you
you too.
provide.
I'm awesome.
I love
I'm
you too.
so
Yes,
thankful that you came up.
me too.
If you want
Thank.
to close us out in prayer, GA, I would be more than happy to pray with
Yeah,
you.
me too.
Okay, thank you. Father God, we come to you tonight asking for your wisdom and your knowledge to help discern current world events. And we ask for your peace to be upon us, that we may be able to shine your light in a dark world and bring peace to those around us. Be with our loved ones. Take care of them, watch over them, and Lord, just help us to be who you created us to be.
Yes, Lord.
Amen.
Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
And that was very emotional. And I like prayer now. I always want to make sure I do it, and I thank you very much, everybody.
Okay.
That is all for now from the Mental Health Militia News. Chabul, Georgia, Ronan, have a good one. God bless you and yours. Holla, Chabul, two fingers.
Two fingers.
Guys, two fingers. See you tomorrow night if you guys want to join on. And please and thank you very much. Have a good night, and God bless.
God bless.